Well, in business news, household kerosene may go beyond reach of poor Nigerians as the price of the commodity has risen about 118% in the last 12 months. Now, well, this according to the National Households Kerosene Report of the National Bureau of Statistics for the month of September. According to the report, the average retail price per litre paid by customers in September 2022 was 947 naira, indicating an increase of 17% compared to 809 naira in August 2022. A breakdown of the report showed that on the state profile analysis, the highest average price per litre was recorded in Enugu, followed by Ebonyi and Cross River. On the other hand, the lowest prices was recorded in Rivers, followed by Bayelsa and Nasarawa. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers, NAPGAM, has cautioned Nigerians against panic buying of liquefied petroleum gas LPG, otherwise known as cooking gas, well, that's as a result of the force majeure declared by the Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas Limited, NLNG. NAPGAM's president, Mr. Oladapo Olatumosun, made his position known while speaking on TVC News' flagship program, Business Nigeria, where he appealed to Nigerians and users of cooking gas not to panic about the possible scarcity of the product.
The total consumption of Nigeria used to be 1,250,000 metric tons per annum. It has
what are we
dropped
doing at the moment?
It has dropped to 800,000. And
wow.
I challenge anybody
400.
because the masses, the poor, have been taken out.
1,000.
The gas has been turned into a luxury item that's only in the cities they use gas. Our consumption now is 800,000. If we are operating at 800,000 and LNG is consistently supplying, all other molecules are supplying, then where do we have room for importation? Who is importing who? Let them come with a list of people that are importing. But I don't blame those capitalists. When there's a loophole, when some people are supposed to do, other people will exploit it. Government has laid a foundation, but there are agencies that to ensure, to protect the first-class Nigeria, to protect the masses and the poor Nigeria, are not doing the right thing. If because people are taking advantage because of Christmas and they are increasing the price, we come out and names will be called. We come with data and the facts. We know the landing cost. We know the overhead. And we know the right price that should be sold to Nigeria. But if they still continue to exploiting Nigeria, taking advantage because the government agencies that are supposed to control it are not doing anything.
Mr. Olatubosun there bearing his mind on issues surrounding price of LPG across the country. Moving on now, Nigeria has the brains and technical know-how to match power countries such as China, the United States, and India in terms of infrastructure development. Well, this was the main thrust at a gathering of engineers of Nigerian Society of Engineers, which held in Lagos. Kelly Egiga was there.
Modern and efficient infrastructure is no doubt the bedrock of economies around the world. These formed part of discussions at a gathering of experts and professionals from the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Ikeja branch, and collaborators from other sectors. President of the NSE, who was represented by the Deputy President, alongside immediate past chairman of the NSE Ikeja branch, bear their minds on the state of Nigeria's infrastructural deficit.
The best way to tackle these deficits is to be intentional, in building the society, the human capital, the human resources, and then to also developing the manufacturing sector.
What we are coming up with on an annual basis in terms of budgeting for infrastructure is a far cry from what we need as a nation. And you will realize the fact that, of course, as a nation, we are growing in population, the needs are growing. So when you are now having just 5% of your budget, it speaks of not actually being ready.
The deficit is great, and it seems to be getting wider. We really do have teeming population, and yet the infrastructure is not keeping pace. It was always a problem, and it seems to be getting more and more so.
Other speakers at the gathering, including the chairman of the branch after his inauguration, called on governments to create an enabling environment for engineers to thrive.
To grow, we really have to do something about the cost of doing business. The cost of doing business is heavily influenced by the cost of infrastructure and the ease of doing business here. And that's where the engineers and other like professions really come into mind.
We want to go out as a professional body to collaborate with our government. This will give us an enabling environment. We can develop our own infrastructure ourselves. We have the resources, we have the brain, we have the manpower that we can make use to do it, but we need the enabling environment. Our political class to come down and use the technocrats to develop our infrastructure.
The new chairman reiterates commitments to the realization of the 10-year growth and development framework of the last administration, including the use of the innovation hub recently built. Kelly Egiga, TVC News, Lagos.
The stock market begins the week positive as various companies recorded gains. Let's join Effiong Ekop for detailed reports on markets.
Stock market correction moved across trade sectors as equities prices improved marginally. Trading conditions favored MTN Nigeria and WAPCO Cement as investors bought heavily into their stocks. With market index rising by 0.15% to underscore gains, price jumps also kicked up Red Star Express, Better Glass, Wapik Insurance and Adova. Unilever was a major stock on the downside of business, where maximum 10% went off its price. Other downside traders were mainly insurance stocks, which included Name Insurance, Lasaco Assurance, Regal Insurance, and Sovereign Insurance. Only 72 million units of shares worth 2.16 billion naira were traded in the various market subsectors. Effiong Ekop, TVC News, Lagos.
The US dollar weathered another suspected blast of Japanese interventions to push higher on the yuan today, while most share markets rallied on the hint of an eventual slowdown in US rate hikes. Fed helped S&P 500 futures and 0.5% in Asia, while Nasdaq futures rose 0.6%. And of course, Fed helped S&P futures 0.5% Asia, while Nasdaq rose 0.6%. Eurostock 50 futures jumped 1.2%. FTSE futures 0.5%. MSCI's broadest index of Asian Pacific shares outside Japan held steady, while Japan's nickel gained 1.4%. South Korea 1.6%. China blue chip slipped 0.8% as the yuan continued its decline, while Mr. Xi Jinping, president of China, secured a precedent-breaking third leadership term, picking a top governing body stocked with loyalists. All right, finally now in business, let's take you to oil prices. Now, oil prices on the international market dropped today and slid more than 1%. That's after trading. And it was after China's data showed that demand from world's largest crude importer remained dull in September, as strict COVID-19 policies and fuel export curbs depressed consumption. Now, U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude remains in the red zone, selling at $83.79 per barrel, with a downward price margin of 1.48%. Brent crude futures sales at $92.41 per barrel, with a price decline of 1.17%. Bonny Light also in the red zone, selling at $92.40 per barrel, with a downward price review of 1.3%. And the OPEC basket crude oil dealers offer $92.48 per barrel, with an uptick of 3.57%.